All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Everyman crossword. Let's see what Everyman has for us this week. One across Sumerian translated in South American country. Well, I'm thinking translated is telling us to anagram Sumerian, and there are not that many South American countries, so let's try Suriname. All right, now the downs, we have some good starters. Now quiet, in the main, getting mange tout. I know mange tout is some kind of vegetable. Quiet in music is P, so I'm thinking maybe we put now P in the middle of seas. The main could be the oceans. And so snow peas, I didn't know they were the same as mange tout, but I can believe it. How about concerning, uncompromising stint? Well, concerning might be re, and then I think we need a 6-letter word for uncompromising. Oh, wait a minute, is that a typo? This is the Guardian, after all, because it says uncompromising, but I think it's going to be a stint. So some period of time. I'm not seeing it, but let's take a look at 9 across. Some neuropsychiatric medical procedures. I think this is just a hidden clue. And since we have the O, this must be ops. Operations would be medical procedures. So now it's RESPECT. I don't think so. Stint. Oh, stint I think can also be a verb to I suppose not be generous. They say don't stint on the something, the serving sizes, or the drink, don't stint. So is it a period of time, or is it to be careful with allocations? Let's move on. Beaks pointing up, 2 sons touring Spain. I'm thinking beaks is the definition, and in slang, your beak can be your nose. So Spain can be represented by the letter E for España, and I don't think I've seen this before, but you can represent sun with the letter S, but then also spelled out S-O-N, but they are pointing up, and they go around the E. How about glibness to the crossword compiler question mark? Not entirely good news. Something like mixed emotions, or oh, I think it's mixed blessing would be something that is not entirely good, and glibness is an anagram of blessing, and so a crossword compiler would see glibness and think mixed, an anagram of blessing. That's a clever one. I like that a lot. Let me do 5 across. Do mountain activity. Muscles ache, you say. Well, sounds like a homophone. Yeah, I think muscles are going to be abs. There is abseil. Oh, I think the muscles, abs, and ache, I think is ail, A-I-L, which is a homophone of abseil. Oh, it's like going down a mountain on ropes. All right, so how about fathead suggests this vegetable? something like a broad bean, I think, is a type of bean. Do we have a mini theme here? We have the snow peas and the broad bean. How about derive conclusion in knowledge lawful? I don't think it's a hidden clue. It would have to be edge la or e lawfu. I don't think it's either of those. Derive, maybe derive is the definition, and we put a conclusion. Oh, the conclusion in knowledge could be that E, and then lawful, 5-letter word, legal, of course, but to derive, oh, I can't think of it. No. How about gets free fires? Oh yeah, if you fire somebody, you let them go. Could it be let's go? I don't see that how that is gets free. Let's look at this interesting 10 across. One with horn, aroused, has options including kiss. Okay. Oh, one with a horn could be a saxophonist. Yeah, that's not what I was thinking that would be, which I think, of course, was Everyman's intention. So aroused has options. Oh, so I think it's an anagram of has options with an X for a kiss included. Yeah, that seems to be right. Has options is 10 letters plus the X. Evince could be. But how is Vince lawful? No, there must be some other word. Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be let's go. Let's see if 13 could end in ing. Well, losing. 3 at outset. Long-winded, rambling, where speech is made. Okay. There's an awful lot of in that clue. Maybe it is where speech is made, something like podiums. I quite like that. But not seeing it. Let me go back to this one. Stated acidity level, pulled down. Well, I think acidity level could be pH. So I think it's phrased. Raised, building that is raised to the ground, which always confused me as a child. RASED. And then phrased is your way of stating something. Let's try open bar, components swapped, causing no intoxication. Well, if causing no intoxication is the definition, then I'm thinking alcohol free. Open bar, components swapped. So I think if there is an open bar, then there is free alcohol. But we're going to swap those two words or components of the hyphenated phrase, and it ends up being alcohol free. All right. So now our concerning Uncompromising. Oh, I think if you're uncompromising, then maybe you are strict. You apply some rules strictly. And so stint, yeah, I suppose if you stint the way you're handing things out, then you are restricting. Not 100% sure of the definition of that, but I can't think what else would fit in there. All right, still don't know what that is. How about Mr. Farah running fast? Only if this has happened. Well, that must be Mo Farah. Running fast could be sprinting. Oh, only if this, because I'm thinking the only word that I think would fit there after with sprinting at the end would be misprinting. And so I think it's a little convoluted to say if a misprinting has happened, then it might say mo sprinting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. In a way, I admire the chutzpah, but in another way, I think it's a bit of a stretch. All right, let's go back to the downs. Wearing Armani, perhaps. Depressing row or row. Resolved. I'm wondering if, oh, you have 13 across as podiums. Could it be paper? Paper something, but so is it going to be wearing Armani perhaps as the definition? Or row resolved? I think wearing Armani, perhaps something about being well dressed or expensively dressed. No, don't see it. Obstructing picnic provisions on island, no good. Well, no good can be abbreviated as NG, so if obstructing is the definition, it makes sense that would end in an ING. And in fact, island can simply be I. So then we just need, oh, of course, if you're going on a picnic, you might take a hamper. And if you're hampering, you're obstructing. After very boastful statement, National Theatre, highly malignant. Well, I think the very has to be important, V, and then I'm thinking National Theatre at the end is going to be NT, and it's going to mean highly malignant. So what's the boastful statement, I think, is I rule, and therefore you get virulent. I like it. Bits of Lego, I stick together, self-absorbed. I think we have a hidden clue. Quite an easy one to spot. Yeah, now it's egoistic. There's also egotistic. I don't know why we have two forms of the word, but both are acceptable, I think. How about first goal that allows Reds breathing space? Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure. First could be IST, I think, but could also be the first letter of goal. And then allows Reds. And is it then going to mean breathing space? No, I don't see it. Let's go back to the acrosses. Preserved over millennia. Pumice erupted, immortally Italian primarily. Well, last week I did a terrible job of spotting the primarily clue. which is Everyman's sort of trademark clue, where you take the first letters of the other words, and those words themselves help to define the answer. And so it's going to be Pompeii with two I's. Makes it tricky to spell, where there was the volcano. Etna, right? Was the volcano that erupted? Anyway, yes, my parents went there, I think, on their honeymoon, and there was one room that only the men were allowed into back in those days in the 1950s. The ladies had to wait outside. Anyway, I don't know if it's still the same or if everyone is allowed into that room now. All right, with one student, university MIT's flipping, offering incentives. Well, it's an unusual ending, use something I. We are probably going to have MIT backwards and a U. So I'm thinking it's going to be a stimuli. So reading from right to left, one, L for a learner or a student, university, MITS, all of that backwards gives us our stimuli. Not initially, tying up driver Damon somewhere in London. Now, I do not follow Formula One, so I think the British Grand Prix was today, but I've no idea who driver Damon is. I presume the answer is going to be somewhere in London. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm seeing it looks like that's going to be an ing. What place in London is something ing something? Not initially, so maybe tying without the T. Up driver. Damon. Do I need to know Damon's other name? Yeah, because I can't think of a short synonym for driver. Yeah, let me pause and look up who this Damon character is. Of course, I do know his name. It just didn't come to me just seeing it on its own, but it's Damon Hill, and that made me think of Notting Hill. So this is actually quite a straightforward one. Not is not. Initially, tying is the T. Yeah, not and then the hill, but yeah, so how do we get the ing? Yeah, I'm not seeing how we get rid of the Y from tying. Yeah, I don't fully follow that one. What am I missing? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, consume with passion in East End. Consume with passion. I suppose it's eat, but is to consume. But I'm not sure how this one works either. I mean, could it be EST? Yeah, I'm not seeing how that would work. Yeah, east is obviously could be E. But then how would end be at? Yeah, I'm not seeing that. I mean, what else could it be? No, I'm not seeing anything other than that. Again, if you can explain it or correct me with that, please let me know. All right, once more, endorse or call it a day. Well, whenever I see a clue that mentions doing something again or once more, I think it might be a re-word. And if you endorse a check, you're signing it. But if you resign, you're calling it a day. How about coasting out of control? I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's going to be an anagram of coasting. Yes, and if you're not sure about something, you might declare yourself agnostic. All right, let's work backwards on the downs. Every man's grand bathroom, freezing rudimentary place. Well, I think it must be an igloo. Every man is I. Grand can be G. Bathroom would be a loo. I'm not sure why the definition is freezing, comma, rudimentary place. I think either of those adjectives would have sufficed, but anyway, won't complain about getting extra information. TV controllers, well, I'm thinking remotes, but if the heading is off, then if you make a song and dance, then perhaps you are emoting. This was our first goal that allows reds breathing space. Nothing is coming to me on that. What's going to come before the P? An S or a vowel? Oh, the first could be an opener. Oh, and so I think the first goal, like they say, who will score the opener? But if you can also use an opener to open a wine bottle, and I think that gives your red wines breathing space. That's how I'm reading it. If you can see anything else I'm missing, please let me know. All right. This something looks like something pressing, or something dressing. Oh, so it might be an anagram of depressing row or row. Oh, power dressing, yes. I think it's been a while since I've heard that phrase being used, popular in the 80s, I think, and into the 90s, power dressing. All right, so now, it's not podiums. Losing, 3 at outset. Long-winded, rambling, or speeches made. Oh, a wedding, of course, could be where speeches are made. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a form of a hidden clue, maybe? Or like taking letters regularly. Let me put it in and see if that makes any more sense. Losing 3 at outset, long-winded, rambling. Yeah, I'm not, I don't see that one at all. Well, it does, I was thinking that would be an ing word, so I'm thinking this must be let's go. Gets free. Oh, I think maybe if you are holding on to something, but then you get free of it, you let go of it. I suppose, like, if you have negative emotions or something and you get free of them, you let it go. That's the best I can do. Again, if you have a better explanation, please let me know. Excuse me. And of course, this one is elicit. So if you elicit a certain response, and licit means lawful. All right, so tricky enough today. I was glad to see Thomas put in a comment last week that Everyman seems to be getting a little bit harder, and that's certainly my impression. Maybe because the Guardian now has the quick cryptic, as well as the quiptic, both of which are a little bit easier, and Everyman feels he can stretch his legs a little bit and up the difficulty, which is fine, and it still was easier than a daily crossword in my opinion. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure of everything I put in today, so please feel free to correct me. I would appreciate it. All right, well, thank you as always for watching, and have a great day.